Oh, look, it's time for Weekly Weird News, and this week's episode actually has a sponsor. Vincero Luxury Watches, for all you youngins out there. We'll talk about them more later in the show, but first, the weird news.
Yeah, so earlier this year over on that other channel, we had one of those rare times where weird news and entertainment pop culture collided when 85-year-old visionary musician and producer Quincy Jones sat down for an interview with Vulture and gave a master class in how awesome it is to be super old and no longer give a single fuck. In that interview, Quincy Jones claimed to know who killed JFK. He called Ivanka Trump a fine motherfucker who asked him out on a date. He said Elon Musk keeps trying to invite him to Burning Man.
That one makes a lot more sense recently.
Yeah. He claimed Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando had sex with each other. And he also talked shit on a bunch of people who are, or were, supposedly good friends of his, like Michael Jackson, Hillary Clinton, Jimi Hendrix, U2, and the Beatles.
Specifically, he said the Beatles were, quote, the worst musicians in the world, and, quote, no playing motherfuckers, and that Paul McCartney was the worst bass player he had ever heard. Well, now it's Paul McCartney's turn to do a Quincy Jones-style interview where he just says whatever the hell he wants because he's old and rich and probably doesn't give a fuck. In an interview with GQ that came out earlier this week, Paul gave plenty of new insight into his fascinating career, but the key element from the interview that got people's attention, well, let's just let the cover of Wednesday's New York Post do the talking. Beat the MEATLES. Hard Day's Night. Paul reveals Beatles sex secrets. Me and John masturbated with a group. Come together.
It's a fucking work of art.
Yeah, truly. Someone send us a copy, please. For a newspaper that regularly publishes some of the craziest cover design around, they really outdid themselves with this one.
Yeah. It's like they were trying to come up with like headlines. They came up with like 4 headlines. They're like, fuck it, let's just use them all.
Yeah.
Come together.
These are all good. We can't leave any of these on the floor.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and plagiarize Beat the MEATLES and use that as the title of this episode because any variation on come together or Paul McCartney and John Lennon used to jack off together would have gotten the YouTube cops on our ass instantly.
Yeah.
Demonetization gone. So Beat the MEATLES it is.
Yeah.
But hey, we're just reporting what Sir Paul McCartney, a musical legend and a knight, said in an interview with a reputable magazine. We're just the messenger. And out of respect for this excellent piece of music journalism, let's just read the circle jerk section as it was written.
What it was, he explained after I have prompted him, was over at John's house, and it was just a group of us. And instead of just getting roaring drunk and partying, I don't even know if we were staying over or anything, we were all just in these chairs, and the lights were out, and somebody started masturbating. So we all did. There would be about 5 of them, McCartney, Lennon, and maybe 3 of Lennon's friends. As they each concentrated on their mission, anyone in the group was encouraged to shout out a name that would offer relevant inspiration. We were just Bridget Bardot, woo! McCartney said. And then everyone would thrash a bit more. Thrash is a
Given my
weird
meat
word.
a good thrashing.
It's a weird word for masturbating. It sounds violent.
And they're probably doing it dry. It's not like they had lube sitting around.
Yeah.
Oh, John, could you get the lube, please? I've got to lube up my cock. It's too dry. The
Can you-
skin's starting to peel.
Can you grab the mayonnaise from the fridge?
John, hey, Bridget Bardot. How you feeling now, John? I think I might come. I think I might ejaculate, John. What do you think about that?
What do you say we come together? I'm
Right.
going to keep that one
Hold on.
stored away for a few
Wait.
years.
Hey, wait, are you going to come right now as well? Come together. Right now. You know what? Over me. Over me, John.
I'm happy with that. Anyways, after that whole thrashing thing, the article continues, at least until one of them, the one you would perhaps expect, opted for disruption over stimulation. I think it was John sort of said, Winston Churchill! McCartney remembers and acts out the aghast, stymied reactions. I asked whether this ritual took place often. I think it was a one-off, McCartney replies, or maybe it was like a 2-off. It wasn't a big thing. But you know, it was just the kind of thing you didn't think much of. It was just a group. Yeah, it's quite raunchy when you think about it. There's so many things like that from when you're a kid that you look back on and you're, did we do that? But it was good, harmless fun. It didn't hurt anyone, not even Bridget Bardot.
So there you go. In the early days of the Beatles, Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and a few of their friends all got shit-faced drunk, turned the lights off, and jacked off in a room together while shouting out the names of famous attractive women and also Winston Churchill. And they might have even done it more than once because, guys, it was just some good harmless fun with the lads.
Yeah. Banter.
Just banter.
Just some banter and jacking off.
We didn't have Nando's yet, so we just turn the lights off and jerk off together.
Nowadays, kids just go on Twitter. We had to make fun for ourselves.
We
stroked our cocks.
We didn't have Pornhub. We'd have to shout the names of attractive women like Brigitte Bardot.
Oh, yeah, that got me going. Do you have any pictures? Oh, it's dark.
I think that might be the lie in the story. It probably wasn't done.
The lights were on. And they were making eye contact the whole time. So yeah.
Looking like actual human penises because they're bowl cuts.
So this is all pretty weird on its face, but hey, 2 of those guys in the jack-off circle ended up being in the most successul band in musical history, so maybe they were onto something.
I think that everyone should try it.
Yeah.
Let's turn the lights off.
Maybe we'd all be a little more successful.
Yeah. If we
all
just jerked off together.
God, turn
we
the
all
lights
just
off.
came together.
That's what the song was about. Come together.
In any case, that little anecdote isn't the only weird tidbit to come out of this interview. Also on the topic of sexual shit, McCartney confirms a story George Harrison previously told about losing his virginity to a woman under a blanket while the rest of the Beatles were in the room. Cool.
And they all clapped when George came.
Obama was there too.
$100 bill. That man's name? Albert Einstein.
He also says that while he personally didn't participate in any Beatles orgies, he did order 2 prostitutes at the same time the first time they played Las Vegas, which he describes as a wonderful experience. And he also mentions at least one time that a male Beatles fan convinced John Lennon to come home with him so he could watch John Lennon fuck his wife.
John Lennon was cucking people all over the world. John, would you come home and fuck my wife?
You know, I think they,
Of course.
before it got demolished, I believe they stayed at the Sahara at least once, because I remember, like, they had a room that was like, this is the room where the Beatles stayed. I was like, cool, wouldn't it be cool to stay in that room?
Get out the black light.
Whoa!
Paul McCartney's cum everywhere.
Holy
The
shit!
Beatles stayed here, we never cleaned the sheets.
Yeah.
Wow. So now you know.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney fucked 2 hookers at the Sahara. And it was a wonderful time.
And now it's demolished, so you can't even go pay tribute to it.
Shit.
By
Well,
leaving your own sample behind.
another unexpected part of the interview goes into the fact that despite being a staunch vegetarian and animal rights activist for the last 40 years, Paul McCartney used to regularly go into the woods behind his home and murder frogs.
Well, who hasn't?
This kind of childhood behavior is generally seen as a big red flag indicating that the kid's probably a psychopath. But in Paul's case, he says he didn't actually enjoy killing the frogs, but he did it as a way to toughen himself up before his mandatory national service kicked in at age 17. He says, I was probably about 12. I was looking at being 17, which is kind of looming. It's going to happen fast. And the one thing I thought was, I can't kill anything. What am I going to do? Get a bayonet and hurt someone? I've got to kill someone? Shit. I've got to think about that. How do I do that? So I ended up killing frogs.
He continues saying, I used to go out in the woods and I killed a bunch of frogs and stuck them up on a barbed wire fence. It was like a weird sort of thing that I hated doing, but thought, I'm toughening myself up. I remember taking my brother there once to my secret place, and he was just horrified. Thought he had a nutter on his hands. Oh, well, technically, he's not wrong.
I'm a nutter.
Yeah. And probably did. In the end, though, ironically, Paul McCartney's frog murder spree ended up being all for nothing, as the UK's mandatory national service program was phased out right before Paul turned 17.
You mean I killed all these frogs for
what?
nothing?
For what? Well, time to go start a band.
There was time.
Yeah.
Some other interesting tidbits from the interview include the fact that when the Beatles recorded at Abbey Road Studios, they would often sneak off to smoke weed because they thought that their producer, Sir George Martin, would be judgmental about it. So they'd go smoke in the studio's echo chamber, which is an actual thing. It's not just when you talk about politics with people you agree with.
Yeah.
It's an actual echo chamber. It's basically a big room which sound would be played into and then re-recorded, and it would add reverb and echo naturally. So anyway, they'd basically go sit in this room in complete silence, getting high, while every few minutes, the extremely loud, isolated vocal tracks of some of Britain's most popular singers would get blasted into the room without warning.
That's got to be weird.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a good high.
As far as how Paul can remember all this shit after so many years, even after all that weed smoking, it turns out there's some things that he doesn't remember, like how to play specific chords from old Beatles songs, which you feel like you could probably relearn really quickly.
Yeah, there was one. He was like,
Pretty simple, right?
he's like, I even went and found the tapes, and I was like listening to it intently, and I'm like, I just can't figure it out. I think George Martin did some tricky shit with it.
The tabs are online.
What do you mean, the tabs?
What are tabs?
He also claims to have had an acid trip as a young man in the early 60s and seeing a double helix shape before he ever learned about the double helix shape of DNA. So He thinks he may have also seen his own DNA while high on acid.
He also says he believes that he remembers being born.
Oh.
Yeah, so remembers where it counts.
Yeah.
I saw my own DNA.
It was beautiful. I wrote a song about it.
He's also talking about, he's like, I haven't done acid in years, but a lot of my friends are into that micro dosing. They keep trying to get me to do it.
Sure. That'd be fun. Maybe he'll remember the chords.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah. He's like, I got grandkids, I can't do it. And they're like, well, so you're saying you'd never do it? No.
Not saying that. There's the chord. Found it. Right next to the double helix.
And finally, regarding all that shit that Quincy Jones talked about him and the Beatles in that interview from earlier this year, McCartney says that he loves and respects Quincy Jones, though he is also a crazy motherfucker. He says after that interview went out, Quincy Jones called him up personally to deny actually saying any of those things. And Paul told
Fake news.
Paul, man, I don't know why they're printing this stuff. I would have never said that about
Paul,
you
do you
guys.
know what fake news is? Because this is what it is. It's just clickbait.
What's clickbait?
So Paul told Quincy that if Quincy had in fact said those things, Paul would then say, fuck you, Quincy Jones, you fucking crazy motherfucker. But hey, none of us ever said anything, so we're good.
This might actually be the biggest music beef of 2018.
No, it seems like things are great as ever between those two because they have no worries in the world at all.
Yeah, no, they're doing fine. They should have a fucking wank together.
How do we know they haven't?
Well, I guess we can't be sure.
Hi, Quincy, what do you think about hopping on a plane over to London and sitting in a room together with the lights off,
Are
having
you
a wank?
familiar with Bridget Bardot? It's my safe word now.
I'm gonna shout Ivanka Trump. She's a bad motherfucker.
Ooh, yeah, that gets me going.
Yeah, honestly though, aside from all the crazy shit, it's one of the best interviews ever printed. There's way more to it than just the crazy parts. It's definitely worth the read.
Yeah.
Check out the link in the description.
Moving on now, though, in a recent episode a couple months back, we talked about how a 16th century statue of St. George in a church in Spain had been ruined by a shitty amateur restoration job that made it look like a giant vending machine action figure. This was inexplicably a job the church had hired people to actually do, but before that, there was the infamous portrait of Jesus Christ in another church in Spain that was restored on the sly by a parishioner who thought it needed a touch-up, but had no idea what the hell she was doing, resulting in this abomination, which some have dubbed Potato Jesus. By the way, the church has kept the painting this way because it's actually ended up attracting a lot of tourism, and they're apparently making bank off of this botched Jesus thing and all the merch that comes with it at the gift shop
Buy
there.
that merch. All I want for Christmas is my
Jesus
Christ
Christ
merch.
Yeah.
My Jesus Christ merch.
It's a new McCartney song.
Yeah.
Anyways, they embraced the meme. So,
Good for them. The latest example of Spanish churches having their religious art intentionally turned into hideous abominations comes to us from the tiny northern town of El Rañadero. With a population of just 28, there weren't a whole lot of candidates for who would get to tackle the job of restoring a set of 500-year-old wooden statues in the town church. So the results are about as shitty as you'd expect.
Did they not even think that they could go out? No, this must stay in the town. We need a local to do it.
There's something about Spain and fucking up their religious art that no one has gotten to.
It
There's
seems
something
like they
there.
could just make a call and be like, hey, is there an expert anywhere in the vicinity?
Or just leave it as is. I don't think these looked particularly bad to begin with.
Yeah. This is also, they fucked up that soccer player statue too.
Well, that was Portugal.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's very, you don't want to mix those.
Anyone could mix those up there, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so the woman who took on the task of restoring these statues, she told a Spanish newspaper, I'm not a professional, but I always like to do it, and the figures really needed to be repainted. So I painted them as I could, with the colors that looked good to me. And the neighbors liked it.
She got every 27 other people to sign off on this.
You guys like this, right? Like,
We love it.
We all live next door to you.
We're not gonna make this awkward.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Now, at this point, we really have to question what it is about Spanish Catholics having god-awful taste in art, because again, in all these cases, the so-called restorations were done by people who honestly and sincerely thought that they were improving things. The centerpiece of these statues, which featured Mary, the baby Jesus, and St. Anne, looked perfectly fine before with the wood grain exposed. And now the three figures feature pink skin and fuchsia lips, and Jesus' outfit has been compared to a youth soccer uniform. So, but hey, maybe beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess, maybe. The artist says that the original carvings were horrible and that something needed to be done. Another resident said of the restoration, the colors are a little garish, but before they were ugly, without form, the color of wood. And now they are pretty.
What do these people have against just wood? Wood looks great. You got the grains in there.
I don't know.
Why you gotta paint it?
Give it a nice sanding.
Yeah. You just a new coat of finish.
Yeah.
It's not about paint.
Is that Thompson's water seal?
It's all about that water seal, yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Gotta choose, matte. You can go matte finish. You can go glossy.
Build a deck around it. Have a fine sun deck.
Nothing wrong with wood. You gotta respect wood.
Yeah. Gotta respect the wood.
Anyways, before we get on to the second half of the show, now we gotta give you a quick word from this week's sponsor, Vincero, or as I like to call him, Vincero.
Vincero.
Are you looking to increase your perceived success and wealth without paying a huge price tag?
I know I am.
Vincero has a modern and contemporary style that looks bold and professional. Get the watch built for a boss.
It's time to step your game up and stand out. A luxury watch doesn't have to cost you a fortune, and you'll see why when you check out Vincero. Every watch is manufactured and quality checked by hand before being shipped out to you, the customer. This is the kind of attention to detail and dedication to quality typically only seen with luxury watch brands that cost over $500.
Too high.
Well, guess what? Vincero watches start at a little over $100.
See, we both ended up getting the Chrono S. It's got
It's
a
funny.
stopwatch.
We didn't
built
know
in.
that we got the same watch, but we
Similar
both
taste.
have great taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite elegant. It's got a leather strap, which, full disclosure, real leather. You know it's real leather because you got to break it in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wear this for a little while.
I've needed a classier watch for my upcoming wedding, and I think that getting this one.
You don't be wearing a digital calculator watch
Yeah.
up on the wedding stage.
Yeah.
Come on.
With over 11,000 5-star reviews and a 2-year warranty, you can shop with confidence. Go take a look at these Vincero watches, and we know that you'll love them as much as we do. So head over to vincerowatches.com/weird and enter promo code WEIRD15 to get 15% off your entire order. Don't blend in, stand out. Again, get your Vincero watch at vincerowatches.com/weird, promo code WEIRD15. Thank you so much for supporting the show. It's great to have sponsors back again.
Vincero.
Yes.
Vincero.
Support our sponsors. And now, let's get into headlines.
Grocery worker facing felony theft charges for eating $9,200 worth of deli ham. It's a lot of ham.
Or a really expensive piece of ham.
Yeah, it might be that
Gold
that
ham.
Black Forest shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, apparently
It's boar's head.
this is. I feel bad for this deli worker because apparently it was just over the course of 8 years, every day
Just taking a little piece.
They grab a couple pieces of ham.
Here's the thing.
and some dickhead in loss prevention was like keeping track of it that whole time.
A little honey trap.
Honey ham trap.
Honey baked ham trap. So here's the thing. I would argue you gotta know the product to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
What better way
Exactly.
to know the product than to taste? Well, unless it's something you shouldn't eat. But their product is deli meats.
It's the best bleach. Trust me, I've tasted them all.
But no, she should be able to try the product.
If by that logic though, the first couple times was probably enough.
No, your palate resets. You got to do it at least a couple times every month.
That's true. The taste does, maybe there's good seasons, there's bad seasons.
Yeah.
Like this year's ham's really good.
Yes.
This year's ham's a little more on the gamey side.
Could you imagine if you went to a deli counter and they were like, do you want the regular ham or do you want this ham, which is like the nicer label, probably like boar's head or something, and they're like, well, sell me on it. And they're like, well, I've tasted it myself, and honestly, you're gonna want to go with this one. It's great. It's a really good year.
This
for
is
ham.
the one I steal 3 slices of every day for the
Hey,
last
it's so
8
good.
years.
It's so good. I steal some. Don't tell loss prevention. No, I feel bad. This is like, but we should also say we haven't said it yet. This is over the course of years.
8 years.
Yeah. So it's a little bit every once in a while.
If they actually fucking take her to court over like the full amount of meat, like that's just fucked up.
Yeah.
This lady's probably working minimum wage.
Everyone should just get a ham and ship it to this supermarket or the deli.
Yeah.
And then they're fine. They get a nice warm ham in the mail.
Also, like, I've never worked at a grocery store, but I assume they throw out a lot of like past due shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's got to add up to like way more money worth of just wasted food.
Yeah.
So,
when I worked at a grocery store, we would take the stuff that was at the sell-by date, and we'd place it nicely and delicately in the dumpster without smashing it or crushing it for the Amish.
I didn't know the Amish were into that kind of dumpster diving.
Well, there was a couple that did it. It was in Florida where there's a huge Amish community, and the grocery store was right in the center of it. And the manager was like, the Amish, they come by and they'll take the food because it's not expired. It's just the sell-by date.
Yeah.
So we put it in there nicely for them.
Yeah, the expiration date, it's a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, the Amish are never going to see this fucking video.
Expiration dates are fake news.
What do we care about the Amish for? Fuck the Amish. They're not going to watch this. I don't really though. Not fuck the Amish. I'm just saying it's they're not going to see the video, so you
Yeah.
can.
And also, whatever. You want a dumpster dive? Fine.
Yeah.
It's a very affordable way to live.
Yeah. It's called freegan, and it's a real thing. Anyways, this lady, she shouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. Romance novelist who wrote essay on how to murder your husband now accused of murdering her husband.
Huh. Well.
I don't know if the essay included parts about how to murder your husband and get away with it, but
Yeah.
she didn't do that, apparently.
Dear Mr. Policeman, I left you so many clues. This is also very similar to the thing that happened here in Los Angeles with the graphic novelist who killed his fiance or girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And he had worked on a graphic novel that like basically is the same kind of murder
I
style.
remember that.
Yeah. He just got prosecuted. Like he finally got charged, not charged, but he's going to jail for a long time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Guilty. Dun, dun.
This
Not a
lady,
cool crime.
This lady,
Stealing ham, cool crime.
still, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a cool crime.
Stealing ham over the course of a decade, little bits at a time.
It's not a cool crime, maybe a chill crime.
Yeah, it's a chill crime.
It's a chill crime.
Yeah.
It's a fine crime.
This though, murdering your husband, bad crime.
Yeah, no, I can't vouch for this. And also, apparently on her website where she would publish her like works of fiction, like in her bio it literally said like the things I write come from my heart, or some variation of that.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, these things I'm writing that are supposedly fiction, they're not.
Wink. There's little asterisks on everything. If I did it, here's how. And I did.
Cannabis dispensary worker uses bong to fight off bandits wielding bear spray. Take a guess what country this happened in.
Canada?
Yeah.
Nice.
Doing robberies with bear spray. I mean, it's an effective, well, apparently not an effective way to do a robbery, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You spray bear spray at me? I'm like, yeah, just take whatever
When
the
you're at
fuck
the
you
store
want.
and you're looking at mace, are you gonna get the regular mace or the bear mace? Obviously, you're gonna get the bear mace.
Yeah. I don't want to take down a man. I want to take down a bear.
So did he actually fight them off successfully?
Yeah. And he got fucking sprayed in the face. I don't know how he did it. He like,
Adrenaline.
he had his fucking
And
massive,
cannabis.
like 4-foot glass bong, probably worth hundreds of dollars. He was swinging it at him. And then he like ran away. He like, the last woman that was in there, he actually broke it on them.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm sure his boss is like, well, we actually have a no pursue policy, so you gotta, no. This is in Canada, so he's probably fine.
Yeah.
The US,
Be sued by the criminals.
yeah, sued by the criminals and lose your job for actually, standing up for yourself.
He's the John Wick of marijuana dispensary workers. Good for him.
Yeah.
Australia. Politicians attack 9-year-old for not standing during anthem.
You know why Australia is like one of America's oldest, closest friends? It's because they're just as fucking crazy as we are.
Yeah.
And this fucking 9-year-old doesn't want to stand for the anthem during school for like, I think, pretty valid reasons. Apparently the Australian national anthem, some of the wording in it doesn't really apply to Indigenous Australians, of which there are a lot of them. And she thinks this is not right and they should change the words of it.
Yeah.
So she's fucking 9 years old and making a statement, and there's like politicians in Australia like, sounds like she needs a spanking. It's like, why are you getting all worked up over a 9-year-old? You fucking lunatic.
Yeah. What's his name have to say about it?
Oh, Clive Palmer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious.
I follow him on Twitter. I see his tweets, but I don't get any of it because it's all like Australian-based politics.
He was pretty stoked because Australia just got rid of their prime minister. He got booted. Clive Palmer was all over that.
Yeah.
He was memeing away all about that.
Good. Putin's bodyguard challenged to Minecraft duel and pillow fight in viral defensive critic.
So
Minecraft duel.
Vladimir Putin's bodyguard made a video on like the official like Russian defense YouTube channel where he called out Alexei Navalny, the leader of the opposition, and said like, keep talking shit, I'm gonna kick your ass, basically. And so it became a meme on like Russian social media of people being like just challenging this bodyguard to like different sorts of fights over
Was the
bullshit.
video with the bodyguard him doing pull-ups on a construction crane?
No, I don't believe so.
Just drinking vodka, doing pull-ups 1,000 feet in the air. I'll fight anyone, but fight me on my turf. Elevated.
On top of the crane.
Yeah,
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
yeah. One man comes crashing down to earth.
Chinese restaurant staff offer to pay for pregnant woman's abortion after she finds a dead rat in the soup.
That's a lot to unpack in one headline.
Yeah, so this woman in China, she finds a dead
Oh,
rat.
it's not an American Chinese restaurant?
No, this is in China.
Oh, okay.
She finds a dead rat in her soup.
Should charge you extra.
and she's pregnant. And they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. Well, if you're worried about if this is going to affect your baby, we can give you like $200 to abort it. Is that cool?"
Wow.
She's like,
Wow.
"No,
Not cool.
no, that's no."
Was the rat cooked?
It was like boiled. It was also a rat fetus,
Ah.
which I don't know. Like I feel like the
Maybe it's
stem
like,
cells will make the baby stronger.
Yeah, or be like a rat baby. But it's like
It's a
having
monster.
What's the balut? Is that what it is? The
Balut, yeah.
It's like a duck or a chicken or something like that. That it's
Yeah,
isn't
the,
hatched.
duck
So it's like
fetus.
that. It's a gourmet. You charge extra for it.
Yeah.
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. We didn't know that slipped in there. That'll be an extra $20. Oh.
I mean, who knows what it tastes like? Maybe it's great. Maybe she's just missing out.
Yeah.
Maybe that baby really wanted that rat.
Angry over diversity in children's show, NRA TV depicts Thomas and friends in KKK hoods.
Did you see this shit?
Yeah, I saw this shit.
I don't know what they're even.
First of all, it's bad Photoshop. They use really low res.
Yeah.
Low res across the board.
So they're mad about the fact that Thomas and Friends, which is popular throughout the world, decided that, hey, since we're being broadcast in like every fucking country on earth, maybe we should add more international characters and also more female characters, because I think at this point there was like one. She was like the Smurfette of Thomas and Friends for all this time.
Yeah, they're all running a train.
Seems like a pretty, like, innocent and also, brand safe way to make the show more inclusive.
Yeah, and
for
also
its massive audience.
Yeah, and with the characters that people in other countries can connect with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana Lash, the crazy NRA spokeswoman lady on her NRA TV show, decided to lash out at that, and she got really mad at it, and she's like,
So why did they put the tanks in?
I don't know. I don't know
That
how
doesn't
you
make any sense.
I don't know how you go from being mad about Thomas and Friends, like, pushing for more diversity, to showing them in KKK hoods. It's like, oh, they want more minorities and women involved, just like
The KKK.
The KKK.
Yeah.
The KKK, infamous for forcing diversity among genders and race into everything.
Maybe they're just softening the look of the KKK. We're very inclusive.
I don't know. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense is the problem.
Yeah, but like, they made graphics and everything. This wasn't just
They
something...
should have been the ones wearing the KKK hoods.
Well, that would require self-awareness, which they seem to lack.
Yeah, if the Thomas and the tank and all of his friends are embracing this style, I haven't seen the show. It does like a black tank roll up or train roll up, and they're like, "Get out of here!"
I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, like, I watched it as a kid.
because maybe they're adding new characters, and Thomas hates them.
Maybe. I doubt it.
think that's the case.
Probably
I don't
not.
think that's the case at all.
That'd be interesting, but I don't.
Because the image
I don't
seems
think
like
so.
it seems like if the show like had an accidental racist moment or something, which is fun to think about.
You can't come to my train yard.
It would
You're
be-
from Africa.
It would be an image that Huffington Post would run about the show. It'd
Yeah.
be like, Thomas said the N-word.
Then Thomas has to make a YouTube video where he
Apology video?
slowly pulls out of his train yard.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Choo choo.
No, none of this makes sense.
Thomas the tank says the N-word.
He had a heated training moment.
Yeah, it was okay. Anyways, their thing doesn't make fucking any sense. At all.
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
But
well,
they had to put time and effort into, like, what graphics should we make for this? How about this? Thomas and all of his friends in KKK hoods that are being photo manipulated to fit on the face of a train.
Also, do it horribly and in the lowest possible resolution.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah.
Hurricane Florence prompts Waffle House to activate Storm Center.
With the best image of them in the command center, like monitoring everything.
So I didn't know this. The FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, they turned to Waffle House for up-to-the-minute news on how severe weather is.
Why?
So the Waffle House is a 24-hour restaurant who only closes if they absolutely have to. Mm-hmm. The Waffle House, ever since Hurricane Katrina, has had their own system set up where they're monitoring the weather very closely
To make sure they don't have to close anything.
Yes.
If they do, yeah.
So, like, basically, if a Waffle House is closed, that means you should probably get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Because if Waffle House has decided to shut their 24-hour doors,
It's time to leave.
it's time to leave.
Yeah. It's great. It's good for them.
I love Waffle
Very
House.
happy.
I wish we had like just one Waffle House.
We have to go to Arizona for it.
Yeah, I know. Like, if they put one in LA, they'd fuck it up. They put it at like the fucking Glendale Galleria or some bullshit. 3rd Street Promenade.
Yeah, $40 for a waffle.
It doesn't have the same charm. It has to be like off the freeway in the middle of nowhere. People coming up to the table like, where are you boys from?
I want them smothered, covered, mashed, smashed.
Yeah. She thought she had candles to burn during a power outage, but it was dynamite. She lives in Looney Tunes.
Did it look like Looney Tunes, like a big red stick with a...
I mean, they must have been small sticks of dynamite. Like, let me grab my giant candle, light it up.
Also,
What's that I hear? What's that sound?
honey,
jeez.
Where's the candles? Right next to the dynamite. Wait, what? It's pitch black. Why would you put them next to each other? Well, they look similar. I was going for an aesthetic in the house.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then it's just black soot and just like hair blown back, like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, apparently she's not that hurt. She might lose a few fingers, but hey, we all learned a lesson that day.
Oh, we all learned a lesson. Don't store the dynamite, why do you have it?
Yeah, what?
She's got to be like a farmer or something, because you use those to like blow up moles, right?
Yeah, like big anthouse and shit.
Yeah. But yeah,
Doing some tunneling.
we all learned a very important lesson. Don't store your dynamite next to your candles.
Keep it dry.
And also, if you light it, candles, they don't do the like sparky thing.
Yeah.
And they don't
have like a
run
long
down.
fuse. Wow, this candle sure has a long fuse.
Well, I better wait for it. Better smell good. Just smell it. Smell it before you do it.
Yeah.
It smells like gunpowder.
Yeah.
Don't light it. We need to ban dynamite.
I mean, can you just go buy dynamite?
I think you might be able to. My dad used to buy it off of a guy that came to around his work around 4th of July.
Just fuck sparklers. I just want to blow shit up.
No, it was great. He used to put like plastic bowls over it and it would shoot like 50 feet in the air.
Yeah. I remember a couple times we threw like M80s into the sewer. Just drop it down
Just
there.
in case it's down there.
Boom.
Pennywise.
Yeah. Not gonna get me.
Fox Business host calls former President George W. Bush a radical liberal. Wow.
This is Lou Dobbs. A man who's been broadcasting for like 50 fucking years.
Yeah. I'm surprised he can say anything through those fucking chompers he has.
George W. Bush is a radical liberal.
He looks like he has those veneers that you buy off the TV that are just rubber. Finally, something for me. And you guys could use promo code Dobbs over at Bright Smile.
Yeah, he's like, oh, George W. Bush, I mean, he wasn't a conservative. He radically expanded the government. I'm like, okay, well, the biggest expansion he made was the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. So, Lou Dobbs, are you saying we should abolish ICE? Because you might be onto something with that, Lou Dobbs. Maybe we should really severely
Take a look at it. Yeah.
downscale the Department of Homeland Security and maybe think about abolishing ICE.
We should also get rid of the Patriot Act.
Yeah, what?
Why
Another huge expansion. of
Another
government.
huge liberal overreach. Get rid of the Patriot Act.
Lou Dobbs, you're onto something here.
But we're going back to freedom fries.
Of course. And final headline: Taco Bell voted best Mexican restaurant in the country.
I feel like we reported on that like weeks ago.
We might have.
There's probably a new poll all the time.
Yeah. Like, the whole reason is because Taco Bell.
Because they're everywhere.
Well, they're the only national Mexican chain.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't thought of it that way before, but they really are.
Yeah, you have Moe's in certain areas. You got Paquito Mas in certain areas.
Chevy's.
Chipotle counts, right?
Oh yeah. And Chipotle's pretty much everywhere. Why didn't they win? I mean, I get it. People are like, well, best Mexican restaurant or just best thing to stuff in my face when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
But
Chipotle, they lost because they're not open at 4 a.m. when you need them.
that's true. Probably true. But yeah, it is. It's weird that there's. It's like I'm like, yeah, every Mexican restaurant I like is like, there's just one of them.
Yeah, there couldn't be like a national poll because it would just be like a Don Cuco.
Yeah, the one down the street.
Don Cuco in Burbank, California. Best Mexican food in the country. But hey, congrats to Taco Bell. Good for them. Great marketing.
If you're ever down in Orange County, Taqueria de Anda. It's a small chain down there. That's my favorite Mexican restaurant in the country.
Cactus. Sorry. It's got Lennon on the mind still. Cactus Taqueria in Hollywood or in the Valley. Fantastic. Anyways, that's it for today's show. Be sure to go check out and get a new watch for yourself.
VinceroWatches.com/weird. Promo code weird15.
We'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, good to have sponsors again. We'll see you next time for News Dump and see you all very soon.
Bye-bye.